Welcome to part 2 of my testimony video. For anybody who hasn't watched the first part basically just goes through the majority of my life, because right now I was just going through chronologically as much as I could, but it kind of feels. Right now I'm into my upper 6th year and that's where I am right now, so yeah. If you want to watch the first part, it's about half an hour. It is a long watch, I'm sorry, but I do feel like I needed to include it all so that you understood everything that's going on. And testimonies are really cool because they're how God brought someone into his family, and his arms are open to anybody who so chooses, and I'll explain that in a wee bit. Disclaimer also for this video, I have a cold, sorry if I sound really gross and grim, sorry for those who may be using headphones because you might pick up some sounds you don't want to, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm into my upper 6th year. Lower 6th, my timetable was normal. Into upper 6th, everything, my ME got so bad. I was housebound, I was bedbound. This is gross, I'm sorry, but I couldn't wash. I couldn't stand up, let alone wash. And it was for months and months and months, and I was a melt because anytime anybody messaged me, how are you, I would be like, I'm not so bad, or I'm okay, or I'm just not the best. Boy, was I grim. I was feeling so grim. I felt the worst I've ever felt in my life, and I wish that I had been genuine. I wish that I just said, do you know what? Yeah, girl feels crap. Your girl feels really bad, because she did. She really did. So through this, and I'm just going to speak openly about this because I'll be like, yeah, everybody talk about mental health really openly. Apart from me, because I'm scared. So, like, this is, I know people watching this who know, well, only like 3 people know, basically, but people know my story already will be like, no, like, don't share this. But I do feel called to share this. I'm not going to go into detail about it because obviously it's not the internet's business, but, like, I want to kill the stigma, and that's just about privacy, you know, but it's not the internet's business, but for my watchers, there are only like 20 of you anyway. But I just feel like it may help somebody, and I hope it does, through God, not me again. But basically, through my ME getting really bad, I found it really difficult to socially interact when I got the opportunity. After I came out of having to be in the house all the time or being in bed all the time, I found it really difficult to come out of because nobody knew how bad it was at home, like what it was like for me behind closed doors, and I felt like I was walking around with like a post-it label on my head being like I was housebound, or like I couldn't wash for a month like properly. And I don't know how to describe it, just because when they saw me and I was like, I had a bit of makeup on and I was walking, I don't know how to describe it, basically I just felt like I couldn't really tell anybody. And then whether it showed or not, when I talked to people, I found it really difficult. I found it really awkward. I just got dry again, sorry. And honestly, anybody I speak to, I find it really awkward. There's a high chance if I'm speaking to you, I'm like, in my head, like, I want to say something more, I want to be less awkward. But honestly, because I've been such a social person my whole life, and then having to be shut off and shut up, to be honest, for like a couple of months, like that, it's been really hard on me because I need people to survive, and like I didn't have them, you know, there with me and stuff, and it was just really hard. So that took naturally, and it happens a lot of people with ME or chronic conditions, they can't get out of the house for a while. It took a huge mental toll on me, like a huge one. And it wasn't just to do with my ME, it is to do with a lot of stuff that's happened throughout my life, which I haven't included in my testimony just because it's too personal. But I've been feeling low since about 2nd year, and I didn't speak out about my mental health, but I really wish that I did, because it got to a point in upper 6th when it all boiled over the edge, because of my ME, because it wasn't like, my ME wasn't the source, but like it was the strike of the match, basically, that just went so yeah, I'd see, you can tell my speech immediately has gotten slower because I'm like, not scared to say, I just don't know how to say it without being like, oh, boo-hoo me. But yeah, I'm trying to kill the stigma that mental illness is the same as physical illness, so I'm going to talk about it. So I felt so low about myself. I felt low about everybody I spoke to. In my head, I had these lies in my head being like, nobody likes you, nobody likes you, nobody likes you. See that person you're talking to right now? They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. Honestly, your teachers don't want to talk to you. Nobody in the corridor, stop smiling at those people because they don't want to be smiled at by you. It was like stuff like that, and I got so bad that I was like trapped myself like in house. I didn't want to leave. I went through so much, like it caused me such huge anxiety until I got to this one night and things went down. And anyway, I don't want to focus on that because like I don't focus on my ME, so I'm not going to focus on something just because people romanticize and glamorize mental illness, because you don't do it to physical illness, you're not going to do it to mental illness, right? So basically, God got me in the palm of his hand. My faith from December has skyrocketed. I got to a point in December, right? I'd gone through a lot of stuff to do with like friendships and relationships and my faith from that had gone like, whew, right, so that's in December. But then my mental health from December was like in the bin. And it's just like, yeah. I didn't think my faith could really get that much better. I was like, you know, living with God, wasn't on a spiritual high. It was like too much water, but like I feel like the only way to cure that is to drink more. So yeah, it wasn't like a spiritual high because it didn't last like just a couple of days. I think God has brought me in a really good place in December, and then I think that's why it shocked me so much when I got so unwell from December. And I can't remember what I said in my sentences before, so I'm just going to start a new one. And yeah, things got really bad in December, but God had me in the palm of his hand, that's what I'm saying. And my faith got like even stronger because of him, because he was like showing me all the time, like the doors God has opened me, right? Okay, I go to school called Regent. I don't know who that was, text me, it didn't come up there. I go to school called Regent, and I flipping love Regent. Regent is unbelievable. I know people have other opinions of it, but it has given me the best school experience ever. Like, I don't like the schooling system, but that's nothing to do with Regent itself, that's to do with the education board. I love Regent so much, and the teachers there who I've actually opened up to about everything have been angels. Like, they have been the best, and they have moved mountains for me. They've changed my timetable, and it got to the point there that I had to leave school early with only one A level because of a mix of physical and mental problems. Number one, to heal. Number two, to set my priorities straight and be like, my stress doesn't matter. School doesn't, I'm not saying don't try hard, but Christians will know what I mean. Like, school does really matter in the world, but it doesn't matter when your treasures are stored in heaven. That's what I'm trying to say. So basically, yeah. And then number three, I feel now that I'm in this point, God's given me a 5-month summer. So what am I going to do with this summer? Boy. From I got really sick, both physically and mentally, God has opened so many doors for me. He's given me so many windows of opportunity. And as Maria says in The Sound of Music, well, apparently it's Mother Abbess it says, but she never actually says it, does she? But says, where great, I can't even quote myself. I acted Mother Abbess in School of Music and Regent, in The Sound of Music, if you didn't know. No, I like loved it, but I was really bad at acting. So I don't actually know how I got it, but it's laughable, really. If somewhere God closes the door, somewhere he'll open a window, something like that. And honestly, God will, if he has been like, he says no to something and yes to something else. In order to say yes to something, he'll have to say no to something. He'll say to us, you don't know better. Because for me, my plan was to go through school. School was easy as pie for me until lower 6th. And my plan was to breeze through school, as I always breeze through school, do loads of extracurricular, be that gal, basically love life typically, as the typical like good secondary school student looks. Loved it, went to YF, was a good Christian girl, and then all of a sudden God was like, bam, like dropping it, bam, 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 went through so many bad stuff. can't remember what I was saying now because she's got hyper. Because my back is so. But yeah, that was my plan, to leave school with 3 or 4 A levels. I was actually considering keeping on 4 when I was in 5th year, which is hilarious to think because now I've left with 1. But that's what I mean. Like, God turns things on their flipping heads, like literally, like it's completely like, say if this was my direction, God took me this direction, and that is, He will do that to any of you guys watching this. So be prepared. Be in a place of faith that you can hold on to God and just say, this is meant for me. God made this story for me. Like, He is writing my story right now. Wherever you are in life right now, that is where you've been planted. That is where you're meant to be. That is literally where you're meant to be. Even if you're in a really bad place, God's put you there for a reason, and He's going to bring you out of it. So, anyway, when I was talking to my closest friend, she's my closest Christian friend, about, she's the only person I've properly opened up to, like, to the depths of it, about my mental health problems. She pointed me to the verse in Hebrews 4:15, and it says, "We do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathise and empathise with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet He is without sin." So basically what that verse means is Jesus went through basically hell on earth. He went through really, 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 really rough times that, like, I can't put myself into. So that verse I've clung on to so much in the past couple of months, because I'm like, whoa, I don't need to explain to God how I feel because He knows. I just ask Him to take it away, and boy has He been taken away. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to struggle again, because I'm not feeling 100%, because, like, you never really do. Honestly, who really feels 100% even when you're not sick? But, like, you know, He's just brought me through so much already, and, like, I'm so thankful. And I can't wait for, you know, because before, when I'd gone through really rough times, like friendships, relationships, and school problems and stuff like that, you know, I'd never been somebody who was afraid of my future, but it got into December and I was so afraid of my future that I just didn't want to live anymore. And it did get to that stage, and whoa boy, right, since I've left school, and God bless me, these amazing teachers did everything for me, and as I've said, moved mountains, made so many changes for me. I'm now, I can't say my plans for next year because they don't work out, because I have an interview in a few weeks' time, and, like, if that doesn't work out, I'll just have to be like, guys, it didn't work out. So anyway, I have an interview somewhere, hopefully I'm going to do art somewhere, and no matter what, I'm doing art. Basically, God, that's a way to put it, He's opened a door to art, and I have always loved art. I found a biography I wrote in P6, it was an ICT task, and it said, when I grow up, I want to be dot dot dot, and then you had to say what you wanted to be, and I was like, an artist. And I was like, I want to go to university to study art. I want to have my own paint palette. Like, I said, like, stuff like that, and I was 10 years old. So, like, I never had any doubt that I wanted to be anything else. Since I've left school, because I had my last day of school the other day, which is really cool. Like, as I said, I love reading so much, but, like, I don't like the schooling system, so I was really glad to leave. God has helped me sell my art. He's just been with me in the process. I would, like, have my own art page now and stuff, which is really cool. I've always wanted one, but I didn't have the courage to. But after all this, I've just been like, you know what, this life is so short, and I'm just going to use the talents that, like, God's given me. I'm not saying I'm the best artist in the world, because I most definitely am not, but I love art so much, and if some people want to buy it, they buy it, and they have bought it, and I'm like, whoa, like, I'm actually surprised how many people actually bought it, which is really cool. I also have something else really exciting I want to tell you guys, but I can't yet until it's happened. So yeah, so basically that's just my story, and there's so much I haven't included, but, like, there's so much in your testimony you can't include unless you have, like, 2 hours, and I don't have 2 hours, you guys don't have 2 hours, and it's already been, like, probably close to an hour here with the 2 videos combined. But I really hope you've got something out of the videos, and I really hope anybody watching this, if you haven't considered giving your life to God, that you will. Let me read verses for you, and most likely, if you're watching this and you're from Northern Ireland, you've heard you've heard them before. Pardon me, I'm so sorry, I hate having a cold. It's so grim, especially for people watching. You've probably heard it before, but just in case you haven't, it's John 3:16 to 21. So basically this just explains about being a Christian and like how it all came to be. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that's Jesus, that whoever believes in him should not perish, that's die, but have eternal life. For God did not send his son, that's Jesus, into the world to condemn it, but in order that the world, you, might be saved through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only Son of God. And this is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people loved the darkness rather than the light, because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light, and does not come to the light, lest his works should be exposed. But whoever does what is true comes to the light, so that it may be clearly seen that his works have been carried out in God. To me, that is the clearest explanation of who's Christian and who's not. What a Christian is: sinful, imperfect, flawed, but made worthy. What a Christian is not: perfect, without sin, as good as God, or worthy. We are made worthy. When it comes down to it, if you believe in Jesus, you believe in his name, you believe that he is your saviour, you believe that he died for you and he loves you and that you're a sinner, you can become a Christian / you are a Christian. If you don't believe in any of that, that's it. Doing good works doesn't get you to heaven. Doing good things doesn't get you to heaven. Being all about that light, like that love, that peace, that doesn't get you to heaven. And I know you guys will be like, but you're a good person, whatever, but it says clearly in the Bible, which is the book that I believe, even if you say you're all about peace, you're all about love, you're all about you're still living in the darkness, and it says that you love the darkness. So unless you step into the light, that's it. And there's so many people that I love, that I'm friends with, and right now that's the life they're choosing. So anybody watching this, whether I know you or not, if you haven't given your life to Jesus, I pray that you do, because he loves you so much. Like, so much. There's another verse that I want to read. I'm so sorry, these are like 20 minutes, another was like 30. It's in John as well. My sister pointed this verse out to me. She came up to me, I promise you that this is the last wee blip. She came up to me when she was home last, and she was like, Hannah, have you ever read the last verse of John? And I was like, well, like, obviously I have, because like, I've read through the Gospels, but then I was like, it didn't stand out to me, like, what could be so great about this verse? And basically, just wait until you hear it, it's so beautiful. So, for those who don't know, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John are the Gospels, so they're all accounts of Jesus' life and what he's done. The last verse of John. Now, there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written, I suppose that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. That's so powerful, because in John it literally tells us about Jesus healing the blind man, healing the lame man, bringing people back to life, coming back to life himself after being announced dead and being in a tomb. How does that not blow your mind already? But yet in that verse it says there were so many other things that Jesus did, but if we knew them, the world would not be able to contain them. That literally means our brains would like blow up. Like, that is sensational. Like, that is sensational. That is unbelievable. And if somebody like that you don't believe is the Son of God, then I just don't know. Like, I really don't know. I don't know. And I'm like virtually shaking you guys if you don't believe in Jesus. Like, please talk to somebody who does. Like, even if you feel in your heart that you don't believe but you want to, that's God talking to you, and God's talking to you right now, and he's saying to you, I love you. So yeah, I'm sorry these videos have been so long, but like, I really hope I've helped someone. I really hope somebody even just thinks about giving their life to Christ, whether I know about it or not. Thank you for watching, and share with your friends if you found these videos encouraging. Like, you don't need to tell me that you've shared them, like literally just copy and paste the link to anybody. The more people that watch this and hears his verses, the better. So yeah, shout out to God for changing my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way.